Hello, everybody. It is your boy, Jalen Daniels, also Black J, as some of you may know. And these are my lovely co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Marquez Smith. I'm a full-time student, and I am on the Student Advisory Council.
Hey, what's up? I'm Josh. I'm a social media influencer and I do art.
Hi guys, my name is Infinity. I'm a full-time student and I'm also a co-host on this show.
Awesome, awesome. So this is the Melanin Us, and as you know, well, you don't know because it's the first episode. So at this show, we're going to talk about so many different topics, ranging from political to religion to relationships to business, anything and everything. So today's topic we're going to be talking about is diversity needed. You can see the graphics on the screen. So let's dig right on in. Are y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
So first question is, obviously the subject is diversity needed. What I mean by that is, do you think, in like a lot of times we see movies, music, or sometimes just anything, they just throw a random black person or a random Asian in there just to show diversity. Do you think that's always the best thing to do, to show diversity?
If the purpose, diversity, it's such an important thing, especially in media and movies, because us as young kids, when you're watching a movie or when you're watching your favorite TV show, it not only brings confidence to that child, but it also gives them hope. It's like, oh, there's somebody in there that looks like me. I can do that too. You know, seeing somebody on screen who's playing a role, say, for example, I don't know how many of you guys know about the popular TV show, The Winx Club. It's a cartoon show, and it's extremely diverse. It's a group of girls who happen to be fairies, very powerful fairies who go to a school,
I know what
Althea.
you're talking about.
Right. There's 6 girls in total. Out of those 3, one is Hispanic, one is Asian, and one is black. That is extremely important, especially for young girls who are watching that. They see somebody who looks like them. So they're thinking, oh my God, somebody is beautiful and like that. They look like me. I can do the same thing.
Right.
So that's
I
extremely
understand
important.
what you're saying with, like, if you have an all-black TV show and then you throw, like, a white person in there. So it's kind of like, well, wasn't it supposed to be all black and
Inconsistent.
not? Yeah. So, I understand what you're talking about, but I also understand what she's talking about with, you want to show that diversity because not everybody has to, it's not an all-black world. It's not an all-white world.
Let's make this clear. Diversity is needed.
Absolutely.
But
For sure.
it's definitely needed because, a lot of times we see like Hallmark movies. Thank you, Hallmark, for finally putting us in some movies. But my thing is, we have, there's been a long decades of time where we didn't see ourselves on TV, especially in a positive way.
Yeah.
So since the 70s or 90s with Martin and stuff like that. But with like I said, let's make it clear that diversity is important. But I just don't think personally, I don't think we should just throw someone in there just to show diversity. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
And throw it in there and call it a day.
It just throws everything
It
off.
throws everything off, because
Absolutely.
if this is supposed to be a movie targeted towards the black audience, and you're trying to show the black struggle, you ain't got to throw no white person there as his friend or his sidekick just to make it look normal.
You throw some
Because
random white dude in there and it's like, yo, like, who's this guy? I thought we had our own little story going on, and then everything's just thrown off.
When you're creating an all-black TV show, I feel like you should add probably a Hispanic or maybe a white person, because in all honesty, black people have had struggles because of white people. So if you're trying to show the struggle of a black person, you would want to incorporate somebody that's white because slavery was considered white and black.
Depending on what you're talking about.
And going on about diversity, and I don't want to exclude it and just only for color, just diversity when it comes to size, when it comes to sex. Like, it's an all male dominated for the longest time. When you're making a movie, you have, especially a woman, a female director. We don't really see a lot of that these days.
True.
You basically just have all history working against you. And I wanted to go back to the Winx because they made a new Winx on Netflix.
Yeah, that's what I seen.
It was, in my opinion, it was awful because not only did it take away from the heart of the TV show, the cartoon TV show, it was just, it was whitewashed.
Yeah, it was more focused on that white girl.
What you mean is whitewashed?
Whitewashed because the original TV show, it incorporated diversity to show young girls, to inspire young girls, and to help them show that there are other girls that look like them on there. And then, but what they did on the new TV show on Netflix,
they made the white girl the main character.
Yeah, they added one black girl and then one plus-sized female and called it a day. That is ridiculous. Not all has to be about diversity isn't just you throw one ethnicity in there and you just call it a day. Yeah. You cannot do that.
Right.
It's 2021,
guys. Like diversity as in
Netflix, if you're watching this, please take notes.
Like diversity as in you want to see everybody incorporated. You don't want to see just like Winx. It's a white, like that was just that main character was a white girl. It wasn't like, and then you are like you're my co-host. Like you're there, but you're not there. So like I understand what you mean. Like that's diversity is not just diversity is across the board. It's not just one particular.
I know this may be an unpopular opinion. The movie Soul was a very good movie.
I'm not familiar. I hear things about it, but
I haven't
seen it. It was good.
That's not the unpopular opinion. The unpopular opinion is he did not need Tina Fey as his sidekick.
The cat.
The movie was okay. So because for the longest they said, why is Disney always turning us to another creature, or whatever? Right. So we finally seen a good movie that was really good. So you seen diversity somewhere. But the thing is, when we seen there was a white co-host. a white sidekick with him.
Right.
And they were basically saying it wasn't the person didn't the little character didn't really have a race, but they had a white person speak for them. So it's like, why did you if they didn't have a race, why did you have to get a white person? If you had an all black cast, why'd you just throw Tina Fey in there? Just for what? Right. And then she kind of took over the movie.
Yeah, because she was the cat. She was the cat, right?
No, she was the little icon thing.
I know, but
wait, so the black character, the guy who plays the black character was voice play. Oh, okay.
He was Jamie Foxx.
Okay.
So the whole movie was basically supposed to be about him, but somehow it ended up turning about.
It turned around. The whole thing turned around.
It kind of
turned them into best friends, and
that kind of happens in a lot of movies. Movies that's supposed to be for us, we're supposed to be leading. It kind of somehow ends up in the white world. It kind of turns up into the white person. And that's why I say diversity is good, but it kind of seems like we're only putting we're doing this because we want to grab a certain crowd.
Like The Princess and the Frog, I love that movie. Yeah, like that's always been my movie. But it was like how she turned her into a frog. It was like,
half of the movie
why
is her
couldn't
being
she
a
just
frog.
be like the princess and then try to kind of turn into a frog a little bit, but then back to a princess. She was a frog the whole movie.
The entire movie.
She was a frog the whole movie.
And see, so when you look at Disney princesses, out of the entire cast, there's 7 white princesses on there, and there's only 2 colored. Pocahontas.
Jasmine.
Oh, no, 3. Excuse me. 3. Jasmine, Pocahontas, and Tiana.
And now they're trying to create, what was the... Moana.
Moana as well. Moana. So 4. So they're progressing with that, but I'm not.
But what about as in music, the music industry? You think like diversity is needed in the music industry?
Now with music, I don't think
like hip hop, R&B. Some like Joe.
Who?
I don't know what his name is,
Joe?
But it was like Joe B. He made some good music, and he was white, and he was R&B. But sometimes white people they're not good in R&B. No offense. But, sometimes diversity in R&B, I ain't really rocking with you.
I feel like, that for that particular thing, that is their prerogative. They want to make, hip hop music or whatever. Same of us, you got some of us making pop music. So that's them. But when we talk about the music, and another component that we want to talk about is in the business world. A lot of times we see a law firms, whole lot of the same race. Then it's like one other lawyer who is like Asian or black or Hispanic. You mean to tell me you couldn't find no more people around that race? Because we know there's a lot of black lawyers. We know there's a lot of different races that are lawyers. So it's like, why do we have just that one person? It's kind of like we're doing it so that way we can attract the black audience as well. Because we don't want to just have a whole bunch of, because now I feel like a lot of businesses who they originally did not have any other races on their staff. But with this whole Black Lives Matter movement and so many things, it's like, okay, let's add somebody in so that way we can make it look like we're a part. And
it's just turned into a trend, just like with everything else.
it's just a trend.
Hashtag BLM, hashtag Blackout Tuesday. You know, they do that. It's like, oh, I'm fighting for you guys. No, and you're following the trend.
Trump supporters.
And you say nothing else. You shy away when you see people, you still see Black people getting shot, getting beaten down to the ground, and you nothing, just crickets.
Yeah.
Straight silence.
That, you know, I know today we're talking about diversity, but that kind of made me want to go to this. I was like, I don't know if I should bring it in, but I know this is a little off topic, but when it comes down to like what you just said, we have a lot of people of different races. We're gonna go ahead and raw. We had a lot of white people that are out here saying, you know, protesting for Black Lives Matter as well. And now you have some businesses step in front. Do you feel that it is? How do y'all feel about, you know, a lot of these businesses stepping up, saying, "Oh, Black Lives Matter"? You know, to kind of. Do you think they're just doing that because they really mean it, or do you think they're doing that, you know,
just to follow the trend?
To follow the trend and keep their Black people coming, because we all know, even though we are one of the smallest percentages of that's why we're minorities, because we're one of the smallest percentages of the world, but we make a huge percentage of when it comes down to capital businesses and how much revenue is being made. So, what do y'all think about that?
I feel like the bigger businesses, low key, definitely try to just go along and put a front and saying, "Oh, we support you. We're fighting for you," just to keep that money coming in.
Right.
Because if they don't, they know that their sales are just gonna drop. So and then the smaller businesses, I mean, I'm kind of torn because I feel like some are genuine, but a lot of them are not, especially the bigger industries. Because, like I said, the very basis of this country was built on racism and superiority. And look at all of the presidents we had. Look at all of the people in political positions. You look at Kamala Harris and the position she's in right now, and you look at all of the ones prior. Old white men.
Very true. It's been the same. And that goes diversity once again.
And we had our first Black president, Barack Obama. And, you know, everybody was like, yo, just because, you know, I'm Black, I got to vote for him, you know, for he's Black, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just kind of bandwagon just because it's Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Like, nah, you shouldn't bandwagon because of that. You should bandwagon.
Even before the trend started happening.
You should already been supporting Black people. Right. Don't matter if somebody got shot or not. You should have been on that. Yeah,
because I seen an article where they were saying how now some company, I can't remember exactly what the company is, but they were saying how they're going to start hiring this percentage of Black people, you know, increase the percentage of how many people are going to be in the staff. You should have been doing that. Yeah. There shouldn't be a percentage anyways. There should have already been unlimited.
It right now, you know.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They're doing it because to save themselves.
Black people, Black Lives Matter, and everything. Yeah.
So,
like she said, it's becoming a trend. It's not.
It's not really.
It should have been like that from the beginning.
Oh, and I wanted to segue. I feel like this is still a very controversial topic. Do y'all agree with All Lives Matter?
No.
I disagree.
No, I don't agree with All Lives Matter because let's be clear now. White lives have always mattered in the world. So,
all lives do matter.
I mean, all lives do matter, but white lives always mattered. But Black lives always been like oh well, yeah, he got shot. He was because he was Black. He's probably selling drugs. He was doing
that's ridiculous.
Like nah.
But see, I'm gonna use an example. There's a house that's on fire. And somebody just called the fire department to put it out. But one person says, "Oh, but what about all the other houses? Why is this house getting receiving special attention?" Because it's on fire. They need to put the fire out. Of course, all of these other houses matter. But which one is in trouble right now? The house that's on fire. So when we say Black Lives Matter, it's because there is a problem and we're being discriminated against in the Black community. That's the whole purpose of Black Lives Matter. It's not because, oh, Black Lives Matter and they're above all else. That would go completely against everything that we
you said now all lives matter. So do blue lives matter?
No, now let me speak on that.
As in the cops.
Blue lives matter.
Speak on that. Our cops are a very important role to our community. The ones who are doing what they're supposed to do.
Not the ones that take advantage.
That part,
Of their power.
take advantage of their authority. So, but their lives do matter. I mean, their lives do matter personally. But blue, being a police is not a life. That is a career. That's like, we might as well say white robes matter. Right. We might as well say people who wear aprons matter. So, we can't say, that's not real life. We can say the lives of the police do matter, but we cannot say that a career life matters, because a career is a career. It's not a life.
Yep.
So it's like a lot of times people just doing it because, they have to find a way to get the attention back on them. They don't want the attention back. When they see somebody that's hurting, that's been, oppressed for so long, they don't want to see them, people giving them attention. They want the attention found right back on them. Oh no, it's like people who kind of they try to find a way to make it seem like the other person is in the wrong. No. That black man, he did this and he did that. But why was he fighting the police back in the first place? So so it's kind of like we always got to find they always have to, the people who say blue lives matter, trying to find a way to put this scenario back on them where they look like the good people. Yeah. And that ain't it.
And that started because the man was on George Floyd's neck and he was telling him he can't breathe.
I mean, that's been happening for years though, not even after George Floyd, and they trying to make it like a big deal,
Yeah, I see a lot of people who have the little blue lives matter stickers. And they be looking at me, all me. I'm like, oh, what you trying to do now? Because you don't really see most people who are genuine good people. You don't see them around here saying Blue Lives Matter. Yeah. So it's, hey.
Yeah, the concept. I feel like they're just making up words now.
Yeah. They're making up too many lives matter.
Speaking of that, we're gonna have a good discussion next week. Talking about a certain thing that matters. I'm not gonna say what it is. Our co-host, we done talked about it. It's a couple of letters, but hey, we will be right back. Well, not right back, but we're gonna see y'all next week with another discussion on the Melanin Us. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.
See you later.